I have just said that I am running for the United States Senate in the great state of Arizona, and I'm going to do anything I can to help President Trump.
No,
My
Carrie,
problem
I
with
know
this
that, but I just want let me
question-
just
but my
flesh this
problem
out for
with
a
the
second.
question-
So
My
if
problem
you
with the question is it's so premature.
No, I get
Nobody's
that. I totally get it. So let me just preface this. And Carrie, I totally understand that. You're running for the Senate. That's your priority. But you're in New Hampshire right now. You're not in Arizona. And it's all about the Senate for you. So would you consider running with the former president if he asked you? Or would you consider something like maybe press secretary if Donald Trump were elected in November?
I think all of the races around the country are intricately connected to President Trump winning. That's why I'm in New Hampshire. Because if we don't get President Trump in the White House, the biggest issue in my state, a wide open border, fentanyl pouring across, the cartels run our state right now. None of these problems will be fixed. And so I'm here in New Hampshire doing whatever I can to get President Trump across the finish line so that my state of Arizona, can finally have security, can finally root out these disgusting, horrible cartel members and get some safety and prosperity once again. And so that's why I'm here in New Hampshire. No other reason than I want to see President Trump in the White House so that the people of Arizona can finally have some common sense policies to help us with our border.
This selection for vice president, especially if Trump is victorious today in New Hampshire, he's the de facto nominee at this time tomorrow if he's the winner today in New Hampshire. But this selection is going to be huge for two reasons. One, Donald Trump's an old man just like Joe Biden. But also, Trump, if elected, can only serve. He's 77 years old. He's an old man just like Joe Biden, who's 81 years old. If Trump is elected, he can only serve 4 years. So this pick is huge. If it's not you, who would you like to see Trump run with?
I thought we were going to talk about New Hampshire today.
We're going to talk all about it, but I'm curious because if you're not on the short list, who do you like?
I think that's a derogatory way of referring to, President Trump. Saying he's an old man. He's one of the most energized.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. Just chronologically, Donald Trump. My dad's 81. I would say the same thing. I'm just saying that Donald Trump is an older man, and he is someone that can only serve 4 years. So his pick, more so than 8 years ago in 2016, is going to be crucially important. If it's not you, who would you like to see run with the former president?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump is not an old man. He is a very sharp man. His cognitive abilities are unlike anything I've ever seen. I talk to him all the time. He's incredible. And, it was one of our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, was 81 years old when he helped to draft and write the United States Constitution. Age is just a number. It's what's going on up here. And there's a lot going on up here with President Trump. Unfortunately, with Joe Biden, there's not much going on up here. And so that's the problem. I think President Trump will serve. He'll serve out his entire term. And I think it's actually very flattering that you're asking this question, because I've actually heard nobody in all of media ask who will serve as Nikki Haley's vice president, because everyone knows she's not going to make it. And so it's a great question to be asking, but I think we need to focus on the real issues right now. The real issues are who's going to get in there and secure the border. We just had the Supreme Court rule against Texas. The federal government is ruling against our states that are trying to secure the border. The federal government right now is so corrupt and so tyrannical that they're doing everything in their power to aid and abet an invasion at our border. And there's one man who's going to stop it, and his name is Donald J. Trump. And he's going to get in there in the White House and knock some sense into a few people. And we're finally going to have a secure border. So that's really what we should be talking about today, not who President Trump's going to pick for his vice president. Frankly, in the MAGA movement, in the Make America Great, America First movement, President Trump could line up all of the leading fighters in that movement, line them all up, close his eyes, and point.
Yes.
And he could find a great vice presidential pick.
See, this is why I think Kari Lake, if you don't go to the Senate in November, I think you could be press secretary. You were in the media. I know you're in the media out there.
I'm not looking to figure out what my future looks like. I'm not looking to you to figure that out. The people of Arizona will figure it out. I appreciate your speculation. I see myself on Inauguration Day standing on the floor of the United States Senate. That's where I envision myself. I'm going to do everything I can to help President Trump and everything I can to help my country.